Hey everyone, Django Fett here, back with another top list. This one is to address movies, and if you haven't seen my TV shows one, definitely check it out. And I do want to reiterate that this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying this is the consensus, this is how everyone feels. This is my personal opinion. These are my lists. So if you feel differently, let me know in the comment section what your favorite movie, TV show, whatever it is, in the comment section below. Just to be clear on my last video and this video, and I guess the video games one as well. So just to make it clear for everyone. This is going to be addressing the movies. This is not in any particular order. The best movies and then some of the worst ones. And the last one you'll be surprised by, and I think many people will disagree with me. But at the end of the day, this is my own personal opinion. Also, some of the movies on this list are from movies from 2024 and years before because I haven't seen them, so I need to put them on the list. So we'll start off with the first one being Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Vile. This one came out on Netflix pretty early in the year, and I really love this. The animation is always great, made by Aardman Animations, and they did a fantastic job once again with this movie. I always love the Wallace and Gromit movies, Shaun and the Sheep, all that stuff. And this one actually features a character from the original Wallace and Gromit, and I won't spoil who it is. I think you probably know by now who it is, but featuring a character from there back here, I think that's great. And only an hour and 19. It's absolutely worth it. It's charming. It's beautiful. It's just so much fun to watch. I always love the Wallace and Gromit movies. Next is Heart Eyes. This was a fantastic Valentine movie to see. This is a romantic comedy / killer flick, and it was fun. It was actually a fun watch and really entertaining, to say the least, and was something that I didn't expect to actually like. I thought this was pretty dumb, but I heard actually really good things about it, so me and my wife actually ended up watching it and had a really great time at watching it. Next, my favorite movie of this year. You'll be surprised by this one. May or may not. This is a movie that came out in 2024, and it's called Flow. And it's one of the best animated films I have ever seen, featuring a black cat. And considering I have a black cat myself, this was made for me. I love black cats now, and this one just reinforces that. Features a black cat in a perennial role where there's no dialogue whatsoever. This is a French, Latvian, and Belgian co-production, and this is an indie dystopian adventure film where this cat is running around and has to survive through this post-apocalyptic world as the water level rises, and has to learn to not just be just a solitary creature, but actually make friends along the way. And it was just a beautiful and just really touched me. There's one part with the bird that touched me. It was just like, oh my god, the music behind that too. The animation is fantastic. It was just an absolutely profound movie, and I love this movie. I've seen it at least 3 or 4 times last year, and always had a fucking blast. This was on HBO Max. I think it's still on HBO Max, and apparently it lasted around 5.5 years to create, and I can see why. I mean, this is a beautiful film. And I can't wait to see what this studio does. I would love to see them do more stuff down the road, because it definitely deserves all the awards, and it was just just one of the best animated films I've seen in a long time, since Zootopia or something like that. But it was a fantastic movie, and I wouldn't mind rewatching it again with my black cat. And she always, when I watch it, she's watching it too, and she's wondering oh my goodness, it looks like me. So yeah, this was easily my favorite movie of the year. This one came out in 2022. This is called Where the Crawdads Sing. This was a really sad movie based on the story made by Delia Owens. And for some reason on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm seeing it's really panned by critics, but audiences loved it. I really loved it. It starred Daisy Edgar Jones. She was fantastic in the movie. And this was just a really sad movie where this woman is just in the swamps, and she has to survive, and she feels not welcome in society. So she has, I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed this movie. It was really sad. I don't know really why it was panned so much, but I really enjoyed it. It was a really touching movie. Next is The Accountant 2, starring Ben Affleck and John Barenthal. The first one was all right. This one is fine once again. It's a really entertaining movie, fun action. There's a fun connection between John Barenthal and Ben Affleck's character, and I didn't expect this to have a sequel at all, but it was really entertaining, really fun to watch. Next is Sonic 3. Came out in 2024. I never watched it, and watched it this year, and starring Jim Carrey as Robotnik. You know, you have Ben Schwartz as Sonic, Idris Elba, and then you have Keanu Reeves as Shadow. I don't know if this was the best of the Sonic trilogy. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the Sonic trilogy. I like Sonic 2. That was really entertaining. Sonic 1, I'm not a big fan of at all. Sonic 3 is good. There's plenty of action. I think it's probably the best just because it has less humans. That's the thing. That's what I like the most about it. If you deal less with the humans, then I'm entertained. Okay, we don't need to deal with this human shit that with Sonic 2 and Sonic 1 did. Sonic 1 did a lot. We don't need that shit. Now we can go in full-blown action. And I'm guessing it's going to be doing Sonic 4, and I guess they're going to combine Sonic and Mario at some point. I don't know how that's going to work out. But fun, entertaining. Next is Superman, made by James Gunn, starring David Corenswet as Superman. And really good, really entertaining movie. It's not perfect by any means. Wish I had more Superman, to be honest. But there's aspects of it where it just like deviates and goes somewhere else, but still fun action movie. I want to see, more from James Gunn and maybe do some more with Superman, I guess, or Batman. I guess they're doing something else with Batman or something like that. But as for DC, this is like, I'm only interested in DC at this point because Marvel has really just shit the bed really hard. And now DC has come in and, been more entertaining at this point. So I want to see more of that, being these fun comic book movies. I just don't want so much like in the Marvel movies where I just don't give a shit. I don't really care about Avengers, whatever the new one is called. It's coming out this year, I guess. I don't really give a shit. DC's where it's at. I'm really entertained with what I'm seeing, and with James Gunn leading the, efforts of DC. I mean, sky's the limit, so we'll see. Next is Final Destination Bloodlines. So this was the year, or 2024 was the year I really discovered, Final Destination, and rest in peace, Tony Todd. This was the last movie he did. He looked really skinny in this. It must have been his condition or something like that. This, I think, sparks a whole new thing with Final Destination now. I want to see more from Final Destination because before, the first two movies were pretty solid. First movie was easily the best. And then I think I stopped after 4. I think 4 or 5, I was just like, no, I cannot watch these. These are just absolute dog shit. And Bloodlines actually brought it up. In my eyes, it became a revived franchise. And it really works. It's really entertaining. It's always the characters that are like hit or miss for me. But, they were fine in here. And the kills were really awesome. There's a lot of gory effects to this that I didn't expect at all. And it's just the elements that are killing the characters. It's not just, just some random killer or anything like that. It's like Mother Nature or something like that. Some crazy shit. The Force is out to get them. Really entertaining movie. Definitely the biggest surprise of this year, and had a really great time with this. I wish I actually saw this in theaters. Next is The Substance, starring Demi Moore. This really sparked her, revived her presence, and it's a lot with her character. Her real life almost, and trying to revive herself, and just doesn't want to seem old, and she has to feel like she has to take this substance, but at the same time, she's also like losing herself really badly. And this goes into like body horror, and I knew this had like a lot of body horror, and it was kind of disgusting, but it wasn't too bad from what I've seen like with The Thing or something like that, or probably Terrifier has worse body horror, but I haven't seen those, thankfully. Ooh, I want to stay away from those. Next is Weapons. This is directed by Zach Cregger, who did Barbarian. And this guy is like now the upcoming horror director out there because he did Barbarian. Now he's done Weapons, which was a really fantastic horror movie. And I watched this on HBO Max, had a really great time with this. And I don't know if this was the best horror movie of this year. I think it is. Yeah, I think at this point, yeah, it is. It was the best horror movie. It wasn't like super creepy where it just like it really scared the shit out of you. I don't feel like a lot of horror movies can really do that nowadays. But it was still a really good, entertaining film. And I can't wait to see what Zach Cregger does in the future, man. Like, he's already done Barbarian, he's done Weapons, so let's see him continue to put out some more bangers, man. Let's do it, man. Next is Predator Badlands. Definitely check out my review if you haven't seen it. Entertaining action movie centered around a predator, really focused on the predator culture, and focuses on Predator being the hero. Really solid movie. Really liked it. And once again, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Now we need to see at this point a crossover between Alien and versus Predator. So we definitely need to see that. Let's do another Predator movies, keep them coming. Alien, they should do the same thing as well. And then eventually do a crossover. I think that would be fantastic. Next is The Naked Gun. This was a comedy film series that came out back in the late 80s and early 90s, starring Leslie Nielsen. He was a fantastic, comedian back in the day. And he did the Naked Gun movies, and he did a bunch of other movies too. He was always funny to me. I always really liked him a lot. And now we have, of all people, Liam Neeson as the perennial role as the main character for the Naked Gun series. And as a slapstick, fun comedy film, and that was definitely a great spiritual successor to the original. And I had a really good time with this. This one is easily the funniest movie of this year. So I forgot about this one, but also I have to include Zootopia 2. The most anticipated sequel for me, Zootopia 2, after loving the original Zootopia 1, being an absolutely legendary animated film from almost 10 years ago at this point. This one features a plot with reptiles and has the same two characters that you know and love, Judy and Nick, traveling to different regions to save this reptile and discovering the secret behind Zootopia as well. I really enjoyed the hell out of this movie. This one definitely has a different theme behind it. It doesn't deal with the racism part with the first movie, or kind of does to an extent. But the first movie is absolutely legendary. I don't think it beats the second movie, but it's still super entertaining, and I have to include this on the list. And can't wait for Zootopia 3 whenever we get that down the road. Hopefully not 10 years down the road. So that was the best movies for me. Now let's get into the worst movies. The first one being Havoc. An absolute disappointment from, Gareth Evans, who did the Raid movies. This was absolutely baffling. The action is hit or miss, and there's a lot of effects. The blood effects look just really, really bad at times. This movie's all over the place, and I was super disappointed with this film. Definitely check out my review. I wanted this movie to be so much more. This one had just a lot of trouble behind the scenes. It took a long time to create this film, and this is what we had. It just was not a good film at all for me. And it was just a big fucking mess. I did not like this movie whatsoever. And actually, for once, audiences really hated this movie too, 35%. And wow. Yeah, it really shows. It was just an awful movie. Really, really bad. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, Gareth Evans. I understand that after the Raid movies, he was trying to do something different. I get it. But why would you want to go back to the Raid formulas Raid movies if you were trying to get away from that? He should have just done a Raid 3 at this point. Just do the Raid 3, be done with it back in the day. Then you could then we would all be happy, with that, because that's what we all wanted for the longest time. You didn't want to do that shit. You wanted to end it there, and then you come back to doing stuff like this, but it's the action is just so choppy and stuff. I don't get it. What I don't know, understand what's going on with this guy's head. So at this point, I just don't want to see him do any more action films. I mean, yeah, it's just an absolute mess. The cinematography was awful. I just don't know what the hell Gareth Evans was smoking, man. Like, and behind the scenes, it just was an absolute mess. Even though it had Tom Hardy, even he can't save this film. So, yeah, unfortunately, this was just not a good film for me. Next is Jurassic World Rebirth. I knew this would be shit, and I still ended up seeing it because I saw it with family. So that's what happened. So I was kind of forced to seeing it. I was done with the Jurassic films after Jurassic World 1. I thought that was absolute dog shit. And then they got worse and worse and worse with every single film. I didn't even realize this was the fourth film. I thought this was the third. But yeah, I guess it was the fourth. And then they were trying to do, I guess, Lost World meets, oh God, what was it? Like mutant dinosaurs. I was fascinated with mutant dinosaurs when I was a kid and stuff. But this shows in execution, doesn't work. It does not work whatsoever. And yeah, when you have writing as boring as this too, it doesn't help too. Also, Gareth Edwards did this movie, and yeah, man, he just seems to be involved with just some weird projects. And even though Godzilla 2014, it was a controversial film, people liked it, did not like it. I liked it, but after that, he just kind of done a lot of redundant things, like Rogue One, Creator, Jurassic World Rebirth. He's just not like a big like seller of movies nowadays. Like his name means nothing now. Like it's just unfortunate, but he's just not made for these big productions. And Jurassic World Rebirth may have been the nail in the coffin right there. Next is the controversial title. I know many people will disagree with me on this. I thought this was just super fucking overrated, and that is Sinners. I get it. I get the hype around this movie, the jazz and all this other shit. I get it. But it's From Dusk Till Dawn. It's the plot of From Dusk Till Dawn, but in the deep south, and I just didn't see it. I was mostly bored with the movie. Same with my wife. We didn't really see anything with this. I thought this was just super cheesy. I just did not like this movie whatsoever. It's not the worst movie by any means. It's not a bad movie. I just was more so just bored with this movie and wasn't really interested with the characters, and just I was just ready to just like be done with it because it was a pretty long movie. Even though it was like 2 hours and 17 minutes, I just wasn't really fascinated with this movie whatsoever and was mostly bored. So that's just me. It wasn't for me, this film. So unfortunately, it's going to be on the worst list for me. So that was my best and worst movies of 2025. Let me know yours in the comment section below. I'll be doing the video games list as my last 2025 list, so be sure to look out for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe to my channel, Django Fett, if you haven't already, and I'll see you, my fellow Mandoin, brothers and sisters, next time. Oh, yeah!